time, I will move that we accept Mark Westhoff's contract as city manager starting on August 27th, 2024. We accept his contract with modifications. Is there a second?
I second it.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Mark Westhoff's contract for city manager with modifications beginning August 27th, 2024. All those in favor, please state by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, and congratulations to Mr. Mark Westhoff, who will be our new city manager. All right, next.
That just went.
Yes, and we thank Clinton for your service, we really do.
I was going to say December.
Yeah.
Are you taking the 28th off?
All right, at this time, we are going to move on to item number 3, resolution number 3392, approving Juneteenth as a city holiday, presented by our interim city manager, Clinton McNamee.
All right. 3 years ago, the government established Juneteenth, or June 19th, on the day it's celebrated, as a federal holiday to commemorate the emancipation of enslaved people in the United States. This would be our proposal to adopt a resolution also recognizing June 19th as the Juneteenth holiday for the city of Atchison. As an organization, we currently have 10 holidays that we recognize, which is the same amount of holidays as the federal government, except with the exception of Juneteenth. However, we don't celebrate them on the days. Columbus Day and Veterans Day, for example, are taken as a second day at Thanksgiving and Christmas. And one of our private conversations, as I had commissioner meetings, the subject came up of how often holidays come along. The last one, most recent one, but other than Juneteenth, was Martin Luther King Jr. Day back in 1983. That was just a little interesting trivia there. Laura reached out to other cities, asking about how they handled adding the holiday. 20 responses, 80% said that they truly added it. So they had one extra holiday, and 20% said that they swapped out an existing holiday, such as President's Day, to absorb it without affecting the budget. And then speaking of budget, if we would have recognized Juneteenth, taken June 19th off this year, there are some staff that police, fire, water treatment, folks that can't take the day off completely, and so they make the regular pay plus the holiday pay. That budget impact this year would have been approximately $8,400. So that's what we're talking about when we have a holiday of staff salaries and things that work during those holidays. Other than that, I would take any questions that you might have. This would also result in an update of our policies and things like that we have to, like our employee handbook.
Okay. Thank you so much, Clinton. Do we have any comments or questions? I, for one, am happy to be considering adding Juneteenth because the city has supported Juneteenth for 18 years. It's something that is great for our community, and I am grateful that we are seeking to add this as another holiday. With that, any questions or concerns? It's going to be a roll call vote.
Can I just make one comment? And I'm a supporter of Juneteenth by every sense of the word, and I have no problem with that being a paid holiday. But I'm trying to figure out are we just adding a holiday without looking at the other holidays as taking them off? I mean,
Yes, it's
and
about,
that's just it's really just a school of thought. And I'm not saying
We can eliminate Christmas.
Christmas. Well, I don't know about. I'm just saying the number of holidays in a year is it's my only concern, not which holiday it is.
I move we adopt it.
Okay, it's certainly,
If we're done with vacant discussion.
okay. All right, it's been moved. Commissioner Murphy, we certainly understand. Did you have a question on the
No,
motion?
I'm just,
Did you have a suggested holiday?
it was more of, when do we quit adding holidays?
I see. Well, since this is a federal one, we're just adding this one. This will be 11, is that correct, Clinton?
Yes.
It will be 11. Okay, so it's been moved. Is there a second?
I second it.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we adopt resolution number 3392 approving Juneteenth as a city holiday. This is a roll call vote, so Tina, could you please call the roll?
Commissioner Slattery?
Yes.
Mayor Young?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Wilcox?
Yes.
Commissioner Greenlee?
Yes.
Commissioner Murphy?
Yes?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Motion approved. Thank you, Clinton. And then number 4 is also yours. Santa Fe West Safe Routes to School Authority to Award.
All right, so back in 2022, we applied to KDOT for funding on a Safe Routes to School project, and for this project and for the one that we've done before, it's essentially sidewalk improvements. This one focuses on Santa Fe Street from, don't quote me on this, but roughly 9th Street out to 14th Street. Actually, it goes past 14th. And then a few of the north-south intersections, like a block or two of those streets. There's a map attached to this, if you want to look at that. And then,
This one?
yes, we couldn't go clear up to the high school like that's shown. It's actually a safe routes plan based around Atchison Middle School, but it extended that far. When we initially conceived of it, we tried to go up to the school. However, KDOT had an issue with where it ended. So actually it ends closer to Atchison Street, so that whole top left corner is not part of the project. Could be in the future.
Okay. Clinton, I have a quick question, because I did look at this. It appeared that on 12th Street, on 12th Street, it looked like that the sidewalk would not cover, like, for example, Riley, Mound to Unity Street. Is that correct, or did I have a misunderstanding?
The only east-west street in there is Santa Fe.
Okay, I see.
So anything with Riley or Mound, that would be outside of this. So as you can see, it's the,
Okay.
Excuse me, what'd you say, the only east-west street?
is right, yeah, it's focusing on the Santa Fe Street corridor.
Okay.
So then we have a few blocks of intersecting streets, so those would be the numbered streets.
You picks up where other projects that terminate built first the east-west corridor, 6th, 12th. But if you looked at a map of all of these projects, and they're not all funded by the same program. Perfect. The idea is that they build and connect. Or the other thing I want to mention, there are South Streets here, trying to keep consciousness one side of
Yeah.
the street to limit the expense, but also trying to pick a side of the street that's easy to build on.
Good.
Okay.
This is an isolated, like, looking at
Right.
this, but if you zoomed out and looked at 8 perfectly.
Okay.
I've got a question on Santa Fe there. I actually have a house there, which I should probably say. It's a steep bank, and so when you put a wide sidewalk in there. What's the plan to make that transition?
Which block are you in?
1100. Wait a minute, 1300. This is 1300 block, a steep hill there.
Is that the block that does not have sidewalk the entire way?
It's got a piece of a sidewalk in places, yeah.
There's one,
You cut a big tree down there, right there, up that hill there. Cut it out.
there's one block and I think it might be the 1300 block,
Yeah.
that there is a very large bank.
It's a terrible bank right
And
now, and if we put a big sidewalk in there, what's the plan to,
The street will be narrowed a little bit.
what?
The street will be narrowed a little bit. Like,
So you gotta
the
do
sidewalk will
curve-
start at the bottom of the hill instead of cutting into the hill and building retaining. We looked at doing retaining wall. I was against narrowing the street, but when we found the price of putting in hundreds of feet of retaining wall, I was,
Well, instead of a retaining wall, have you looked at the possibility of just taking some of that dirt off that slope back toward the houses? Instead of having,
we have not looked at that as,
that, that wouldn't cost so much as a retaining wall.
I don't know that the property owners would be happy
Well,
about
yeah, if they were
losing
agreeable.
space at the top of the hill.
I would think they'd be agreeable. I mean, like I say, I've actually got one place there, block of my own, and I mean, I wouldn't care either way.
So one of the challenges in this is that foot wire construction. Things like this.
I don't know, I just wondered what the plan was, because we did one up on 11th Street. And what you got now is the bank comes down, and there's a drop about a foot, and then the sidewalk. But the sidewalk's real wide, but it has to be wide, right? Is that what you said?
5 foot. It shouldn't be more than 5 foot. Yeah.
The sidewalk, oh, it's,
This particular program should be out. Existing.
5.
I have a similar question with the 12th Street only because, and I don't mean to belabor this point, but I live on 12th Street, 12th and Mound, and the street, people speed. And I'm concerned about children walking because that is also a pathway to get to the high school. It can also be a pathway to get to the Lions Pool. So at some point, if we're going to be looking at extending, I would hope we would look at extending the sidewalk to include Riley and Mound, because cars go fairly fast, and I'm afraid that someone, either adult or a young person, may be in danger there.
I guess,
That's on 12th, you say?
12th Street.
maybe I
Between
should,
Mound and what?
Mount, well, all of it, really, from Unity Mound all the way to
Unity South.
Kansas.
maybe I should back
yes,
up
sir.
a little bit. So
Sure.
in order to be eligible for this funding, we had to have created a Safe Routes to School master plan.
Ah, I see.
And
So-
that was 2016, 17 in that time frame. And we identified corridors to improve. So there's probably
Okay.
5, I want to say. The first one was South 5th Street. We did that back in 2018, I think it was.
Okay,
South 5th from the viaduct basically out to T or U Street. Yeah.
okay,
And then some other cross streets. This one will be the second one of those projects.
okay.
And then we've just applied, you guys just approved us to apply recently for North 5th Street from
Right.
Santa Fe up to Unity.
Yeah,
I haven't heard back on those yet, but,
okay.
so
right.
we're just, we're completing the, it's not like we have the
You don't have a magic wand.
discretion
Yeah.
to, it's got to make sense, and that was based on Atchison Middle School. So we were
Okay.
trying to, I think that was a combination of, it was the most realistic to focus on
Okay,
with the location. Right.
okay,
Yeah. It's kind of the most likely. It was kids that don't drive themselves because they're too young and they're old enough to walk. So it was kind of a,
okay.
yeah.
Sometime like when we
Okay.
have
That would be
these types
helpful.
of while we talk about why and the opportunity future. There are kind of a few more projects contemplated, say across the school.
Okay. Sure.
So
Yeah,
this
that's
one here
fine.
is gonna
That's
be
wonderful.
doing, excuse me, doing one side of the street more than not.
Phase mostly, not all.
That's fair to say. That is based on the map from the application. And so as it went through all the processes of getting to where we are now, it's been whittled and moved around a little bit. So
So Santa Fe's gonna be on both sides or one side?
mostly on both sides. And then the north-south streets will mostly be on one side.
I think we could allocate, if it works out with our grant thing, allocate putting it on one side of the street. Instead of putting it on two sides of one street and nothing on the other.
Well, I think at this point, it's set what we.
Yeah, it
can
is
do.
now, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
okay, all right.
I was just
So-
wondering which it was.
So where we're at is that this is a step in that process. KDOT bid this project out. They received 3 bids and are recommended, they're recommending it to us, we're recommending it to you to approve us to move forward with a company called Multicon for a bid amount of $844,964. This is a company from Park City, which is a suburb of Wichita. To my knowledge, the city has worked with them one time. That they built the basketball court at LFM Park. The local match requirement that we'll need to submit by August 9th is $182,000. And that is, the budget. So it's in our CIP for $820,000. That was based on an engineering estimate from 2 years ago. It came in at $844,000. I gotta say that's pretty accurate based on some of the other things that we've seen come down where we've had 2 years of separation from the estimate and the project. So I'm pretty pleased with that.
All right, very good. Any other questions or concerns? All right, do we feel ready for a motion?
I move we, adopt this.
Okay, it's been moved that we authorize the mayor and city staff to execute KDOT's authority to award resolution accepting the bid of $844,964 from Multicon, Inc. for construction of the Santa Fe West Safe Routes to School Sidewalk Improvement Project, in addition to authorizing the remittance of $182,000 in city matching funds to the Kansas Department of Transportation. Is there a second?
I second.
I had one question I
Yes.
forgot to ask if we could.
Question?
It was mentioned in here that they had done the tennis courts up there at,
Basketball court.
basketball court, yes, the basketball. They did a good job on that, is that correct?
Yeah.
That's all. I forgot to ask that, sorry about that. Go
Okay,
ahead.
that's okay. All those in favor of authorizing the mayor and city staff to execute KDOT's authority for this resolution, please state by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you. And Mr. McNamee is going to stay up there for communications.
I tried not to stay, but you're right. Back to my agenda. All right. One item, which is boards and commission minutes. So we have the Atchison Housing Authority Board minutes from May 21st, the Library Board meeting minutes from February 26th, Library Board from March 25th, Library Board from April 22nd, and the Library Board from May 24th.
All right. Any questions? If not, Mr. McNamee, informational items?
All right, so we're going to go over the next few meetings coming up for the commission. The next meeting is July 8th, and it's a special budget workshop. The next regular city commission meeting is July 15th. That is an important one that has to deal with passing probably one of the main, arguably the main points of that will be that there is a budget step that we'll need to take. And that is the last opportunity we will have to do that. Please let us know if your schedules will conflict with July 15th. Special meeting again on July 31st, and that will be awarding a contract for the LFM Park Improvements Project. And then September 16th is another critical date for the budget adoption. Excuse me.
Okay. All right. Any questions on that? Okay.
When was that awarding date on the LFM Park?
July 31st.
Noon.
Any other questions, concerns? Okay, if not, we'll move to governing body comments. Commissioner Greenlee?
Well, I hope everyone has a safe and enjoyable 4th of July this week.
Okay. Vice Mayor Wilcox?
I love fireworks. Plus, I look forward to welcoming Mark Westhoff to our community and as our city manager.
Very good. All right, Commissioner Slattery?
I don't have anything.
Okay. Commissioner Murphy?
I'd just like to welcome our new city manager, Mark Westhoff, and give kudos to this commission for doing our homework on what we're doing. So, good job, everybody, and I think we will be pleased.
Wonderful. Well, I would like to add my congratulations to Mr. Mark Westhoff as our new city manager starting August 27th. I would also like to thank Mr. Clinton McNamee, who is still going to be working in the interim city manager capacity, but thank you so much for your hard work. I'd also like to thank our Laura McNamee, our human resources director, and all staff that really helped to put all of this together for us, and that we selected Mark Westhoff. I'd also like to wish everyone a happy 4th of July, a happy and safe 4th of July, and also thank city staff for putting together information for adding the Juneteenth holiday as well, all very important. And just happy 4th of July, and again, congratulations to Mark Westhoff. At this point, we will adjourn to budget workshop. Is there a motion? It's been moved. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and second that we adjourn to budget workshop. All those in favor, please state by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Adjourn to budget workshop. Okay, and we're going to
Get some food.
Turn to pizza.